So here's the thing. A vast majority of human beings do it, have done it, or will do it, yet it remains one of the most whispered about, giggled over, and shame-laden topics in our society. I'm talking, of course, about masturbation. Why is something so common, so fundamentally human, still wrapped in layers of awkwardness and misinformation? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to talk openly and honestly about masturbation, not with judgment or embarrassment, but with curiosity and a genuine desire for understanding. By the end of this video, my hope is that you'll feel more informed, less alone in your thoughts or experiences, and perhaps even a little more empowered to challenge the stigma. So stick around because this conversation is long overdue. It's fascinating, isn't it, how something so personal can have such a sprawling, complex public history? Views on masturbation haven't always been what they are today. In many ancient cultures, self-pleasure wasn't necessarily taboo. You can find depictions in ancient Egyptian art and Greek philosophy. With the rise of certain religious doctrines, things began to shift. Many Abrahamic religions viewed non-procreative sexual acts as sinful. This narrative of shame and prohibition was reinforced over centuries. The medicalization of masturbation in the 18th and 19th centuries added fear. Doctors like Samuel Auguste Tissot claimed it led to physical and mental ailments. Imagine your doctor telling you a natural act could ruin you. This created immense fear and anxiety. In the 20th century, views began to be challenged by figures like Sigmund Freud. Alfred Kinsey's research revealed masturbation was common. The sexual revolution of the 1960s and 70s pushed boundaries. Feminist movements reframed masturbation as self-discovery and pleasure. Understanding this history shows our attitudes can change. This historical context is the foundation for a healthier present. Alright, so we've waded through some pretty heavy historical perspectives. Now let's shift gears and talk about what contemporary science and medicine actually say about masturbation. One of the most commonly cited benefits is stress relief. Engaging in sexual activity including masturbation leads to the release of endorphins, which are natural mood elevators and pain relievers. Then there's the connection to sleep. The release of hormones like prolactin and oxytocin post-orgasm can induce feelings of relaxation and sleepiness. For individuals struggling with insomnia or restless nights, this can be a natural drug-free way to help calm the mind and body. For people with vulvas, masturbation can also play a role in relieving menstrual cramps. Orgasms cause uterine contractions, which can help to shed the uterine lining more quickly, and may also help to alleviate the pain associated with cramping. Beyond immediate relief, there's also the aspect of self-exploration and understanding one's own body. Masturbation is a primary way many individuals learn about their own sexual responses, what they find pleasurable, and what they don't. This self-knowledge is incredibly valuable not just for solo experiences but also for partnered sex. Knowing your own body and being able to communicate your desires can lead to more satisfying and fulfilling sexual encounters with a partner. It's the safest form of sex there is. Zero risk of sexually transmitted infections or unintended pregnancy. And let's not forget the simple yet profound benefit of pleasure. The pursuit of pleasure is a fundamental human drive, and sexual pleasure is a significant part of that for many people. Science is showing us that, for many, masturbation can be a healthy, normal, and even beneficial part of life. It's a far more nuanced and positive picture than the historical narratives of disease and decay would have us believe. Chapter 3. Unpacking the absurd debunking masturbation myths. Now that we've touched on history and health, it's time to tackle some of the persistent myths and misconceptions that still cling to masturbation like stubborn lint. One of the most infamous myths is that masturbation causes blindness. There is no scientific evidence to support this claim. Another myth is that it stunts growth or causes weakness. This is pure fiction from outdated beliefs. Masturbation causing acne is another myth. There's no direct link between the two. The idea that it's unnatural or perverse is culturally constructed. Self-stimulation is observed in many animal species. For humans, it's a common way to explore sexuality and relieve tension. Masturbation is a benign, common, and positive aspect of human sexuality. Chapter 4. The Mind-Body Connection. Masturbation and your mental well-being. We've talked history, health benefits, and busted some myths. Now let's delve a little deeper into the psychological impact of masturbation. For many, masturbation can be a positive force for mental well-being. The release of endorphins and other mood-regulating hormones can genuinely lift spirits and ease anxiety. It can also foster a greater sense of body positivity and self-acceptance. Learning about your own body, what feels good, what brings you pleasure, is an intimate act of self-discovery. Furthermore, masturbation can be a way to affirm one's sexuality and sexual identity in a safe and private space. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that the psychological impact isn't universally positive for everyone. If someone has been raised with strong messages that masturbation is sinful, then engaging in the act can trigger intense feelings of guilt, anxiety, or self-loathing. This guilt isn't inherent to the act itself, but rather a learned response. Overcoming this guilt can be a long and challenging process, often requiring a conscious effort to re-educate oneself. Sometimes, masturbation can also be used as an avoidance mechanism, a way to numb difficult emotions or escape from problems. If it becomes a compulsive behavior that interferes with one's ability to engage with life, it might be a sign of underlying issues. The key here is why and how it's being used. Ultimately, the psychological impact of masturbation is deeply personal and context-dependent. The journey towards a healthy psychological relationship with masturbation involves self-awareness, critical thinking about the messages we've received, and often, a good dose of self-compassion. Chapter 5. Let's actually talk navigating conversations about masturbation. So, we've established that masturbation is common, has potential benefits, and is surrounded by a lot of historical and mythical baggage. But how do we move from knowing this intellectually to actually talking about it? First and foremost, it's about creating a safe space. Whether you're initiating the conversation or someone is bringing it up with you, the foundation must be respect and non-judgment. Choosing the right time and place is also crucial. Bringing up a sensitive topic like masturbation during a tense moment or a public gathering is unlikely to lead to a productive discussion. Look for or create a private, relaxed setting where both parties feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable. If you're the one wanting to share or ask, starting with I statements can be helpful. For example, I've been thinking about, or I read something interesting about. When talking with a romantic partner, discussing masturbation can be an important part of building sexual intimacy and understanding. It can involve sharing preferences, discussing how solo sex fits into your relationship, or addressing any insecurities or assumptions. With friends, these conversations can be a powerful way to normalize experiences and realize you're not alone. Sharing perspectives or discussing how you've navigated societal pressures can be incredibly validating. However, it's also vital to respect boundaries. When it comes to children or younger people, age appropriateness is key, but avoiding the topic altogether often does more harm than good. Providing accurate, shame-free information about bodies and sexuality helps them develop a healthy relationship with themselves. It's also important to recognize that cultural and religious backgrounds play a huge role in how individuals approach this topic. The goal of these conversations isn't necessarily to reach a universal agreement on every aspect of masturbation. It's about fostering an environment where questions can be asked, experiences can be shared, and misinformation can be corrected, all without shame or judgment. Ultimately, breaking the silence around masturbation is a collective effort. Chapter 6. Embracing our wholeness. So we've journeyed through the often shadowed history of masturbation, uncovered some of its surprising health benefits, debunked a host of persistent myths, considered its psychological ripples, and explored how we might begin to talk about it more openly. If this conversation resonated with you, if it sparked a new thought or helped you feel a little less alone, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. And I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts. What surprised you? What myths have you encountered? Share your reflections in the comments below, respectfully of course. And if you want to continue exploring complex topics with curiosity and hopefully some humor and heart, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Perhaps understanding and accepting all parts of ourselves, including our sexuality, is a profound act of self-preservation too. Thanks for watching.